Hi folks, and welcome to the Back to the Bike Garage. It's Sunday afternoon, the weather's warming up nicely. The lockdown, I think, actually probably came to an end for motorcyclists last Wednesday. We're now allowed to venture out, aren't we, on our bikes? I'm not quite sure whether that's the sort of formal position, but it does seem that we're allowed to go out in the car. So I'm assuming that covers motorbikes as well. So anyway, long story short, I've had these Evotech Crash Bungs now since Christmas. It's a job I've been putting off. I'm not quite sure why really, because it's actually relatively straightforward, but I just sort of put a little video together just to show you actually how it works. So I've just there's a bit of a learning curve. I've just done the left hand side myself, following the PDF instructions. So join me in the garage and I'll show you how it's done. Half the kit's now on the bike. So you can see you get a bracket, you get a nylon, not quite sure what you call it really. For the sake of anything else, let's just call it a bung, shall we? You get 3 bolts, 2 shorties and one long one. You also get various spacers. Now the only slightly tricky thing about this, it's not really tricky as long as you've noticed it, is you've got to note these little spacers. Or rather, you've got to note these little lines on these spacers, okay, because each spacer has a particular length to it. So you get a spigot, okay, so obviously you can see basically what's going to happen, and you get a little nylon washer that's going to fit into there, and another washer just to go on the other end of that. So without further ado, I'll actually show you how it's done, shall I? I downloaded the PDF instructions off the Evotech website and just stuck it on my tablet, so I can swipe across. You can see it basically shows you the contents of the kit, gives you a nice picture, very simple to understand, a bit like an Airfix kit to be honest, and then shows you very simply what you've got to be doing in each case. So this is the instructions for the left hand side, which I've now actually followed. Okay, so very straightforward. So congratulations to Evotech, because even I can do this without too much trouble. You know my history on these sort of jobs. So okay, we've done the left hand side. Let's just have a quick look, shall we? So there we are. So essentially what you're doing is you're removing the engine mounting bolts from here and here. You are then withdrawing those. No trouble at all really. The only thing that you need to be slightly careful of is there is a torque setting for it. But I've just used the back to the bike elbow torque system for that, because the bike's actually going to get a service tomorrow at Ducati Coventry, so I'll just get them just to double check those torque settings for me, because I don't have a torque wrench. So that's the left hand side, and as you can see, if you look at the bike, what it's going to do, it's going to protect that left hand side should the bike actually tip over. So nice handy piece of kit, and also maybe a potential mounting point for a GoPro as well, so which is always a bonus. The right hand side of my bike. Okay, so first thing we've got to do is just very simply just prise these engine mounting bolt covers off. They're like a little rubber cover, so they don't need too much waggling. And there's the other one down there, that comes off even more easily. And you can see, if you look into there, you've actually got I think it's a 14mm nut on the monster, so we'll get those off. Okay, so we'll remove the rearward engine mounting bolt first. I think when you look on YouTube at various characters around the world who've actually done this before, I think the mistake you can make is taking all the mounting bolts right and left side out at the same time, in which case obviously your engine's going to change position, isn't it? So I think the key is that you just do one side at once, just to make sure it's all held in. Okay, so I won't bore you with all the details of taking this one out, but you can get the idea, can't you? And here comes the bolt. So just a little bit of grease on the end of it there. Now the front mounting bolt. Yeah, so the front mounting bolt comes out. There we are, just a little shorty. Okay, so I've got two spacers here, and this spacer, you can see it's got two rings on it, which are the same as on the instructions here. So this is going to go into the rearward position, and the little shorty is going to go in the front. Okay, so just another little thing you have to be aware of is that different size bolts go in different holes, whether it's left or whether it's right, so just follow the instructions. So on the right hand side of the Monster, I've got to put the longer bolt in, I think it's 130mm, and on the front engine mounting bolt, I've basically got to put the shorter bolt, which I think is 100 mils. So the spacers are in. And we'll just hand tighten these. So this, I think, is a remarkably simple job actually. So I say not cheap these, I think £245 I think I paid for mine from the factory. But I think they make the bike look nice. They are something to hang a camera off potentially. But as well as that, obviously they're gonna, if the bike does fall over, I'm not gonna drop it, but when I'm riding. But yeah, if the bike were to fall off its stand, I think I've got the trick of the ABBA stand now. Finally, I find it simple, I must be honest, but I think I understand it now. Well, I can see why people do drop the bikes off the stands. It's just, I suppose, educated common sense, really. Okay, so I'll just put the camera down just so I can give these a good sort of hand tighten. Like I say, I've not got the torque wrench, but I'll get Ducati to check that for me tomorrow. So there's the bracket in place. Matches the bike beautifully actually. It goes with the other Evotech bits and pieces I've got on the bike. Left with a nylon washer, a normal washer, the bolt that's going to hold it in place, the bung itself, and a sort of spigot cum spacer. So all you have to do here is just make sure you put this nylon washer into the crash bung. Fit the spigot in. Difficult doing this one-handed. Okay, and then that's going to go in there, and you can see that's then going to screw to the bike. Okay, so there we are. She's on, and all we've got to do is just nip it up. Just mention, by the way, again, because I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to mechanics, I wasn't aware of these sort of hex, what do they call them, nuts, but I had to order one of those, so I got myself one of those off eBay, and then I found it had a different drive size to the one on my socket set, so I had to get the little adapter there, so that put a little bit of a delay in, but yeah, relatively straightforward job. I think this has to be 45 Newton meters, so again I'll just make sure that's reasonably tight, and there we are. So she's on. See how it looks from the rear of the bike. Try and give you a look down the left hand side, which will essentially show you, I think, that the that right hand side crash bung there is going to protect your radiator. I think it's probably going to protect your exhaust as well. I don't think it protects the, sorry, it's going to protect the front part of the exhaust where it comes out of the engine. I don't think it'll protect the Terminioni cans on the back. On the left hand side of the bike, because again I've got a crash bung there, and I've also got one of these, I think they call them sliders, don't they, on the front there, so that really should take care of the of that side of the bike as well. And I think, as far as I'm concerned now, my bike's finished. I don't intend to put any other sort of mods on. Well, nothing I can think of at the moment anyway, so there we go. So like I say, off to Ducati Coventry tomorrow for a service. They come very highly recommended, and under COVID-19 apparently no loan bikes, so I sit outside under an awning and drink a cup of tea and while away a couple of hours while John sorts the bike out for me. So okay, so there you go, back to the bike, signing off. Hope you enjoyed that. Very simple, but might be of use to somebody. Okay, take care guys, and look forward to seeing you out and about, and you take care as you get back on the roads as well, eh? Back to the bike, signing off.